Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Spiritual Grind. We hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to follow, hit the little bell for your notifications when the podcast is posted, and like, follow, and share with your friends. We hope you enjoy it. Leave a comment if there's any topics that you want us to speak about.
Like, follow, share.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jenny. Hey guys, welcome back to this podcast. We're here with Dr. JennI and James.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us again today. And we are back today to continue our discussion on how big is yours?
It's so big.
Oh, is this like a fisherman's tale? First section of how big is yours, we covered self-worth.
Yep.
And we both agree that that's probably was the best podcast that we've posted so far. I think it was one of the best ones because it covers so much, and it's the first step in the spiritual world that we live in.
Yeah, I definitely think it's the key, and everything else kind of revolves around that.
So in that, we covered how big is your container or your cup?
Container, your containment device.
Your containment device for each section.
When I say containment device, it reminds me of the apparatus they used on Ghostbusters to get the little ghosts sucked
Slimer,
in.
to catch Slimer.
Yeah.
And that was a good movie back then. That was state of the art back then.
It was top notch, man.
It was the top of the line. The containment device that we talked about for self-worth applies in many aspects of our daily life. I think the second step of that, of the containment devices we should cover, goes on relationships.
That's a good one, too.
Because there's many aspects of relationships. You have the relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
There's different relationship with other people, friends, money, with... You name it. There's a relationship with anything, with
pets.
Your family, your pets, your personal belongings you can get attachments to.
Yeah.
All those kind of things.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be something living, breathing. It can be an inanimate object.
And doing the other podcast, my mind was going to the relationship one. The self-worth is a relationship with yourself as well. And so that's why your self-worth is so important moving into the relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
So that's where my mind went with it. And when we were talking about your containment device for relationships, that's a whole lot of syllables.
Well, pick a different word. There's a million.
My cup runneth over. Let's talk about some of those negative societal taught beliefs or phrases.
Okay.
That have to do with relationships. Do you have any in mind? How about this one? Once a cheater, always a cheater. Or, I'm the best guy, I'm the best employee at work. Why don't they recognize it? I've heard that one a lot. Or, how about, I'm not good enough to have that person?
How about, money makes people evil?
Yes.
Money is the root of all evil.
The lottery curse.
Money is the root of all evil.
All these societal taught phrases, and people don't realize how much it affects them when they listen to it.
Well, yeah, and they don't even consciously realize that they're making the statement to themselves in just normal day-to-day conversation.
Yes.
And every time you're talking, your subconscious is listening.
And and it's moved into the spiritual world because I've heard people say, they just don't resonate with me. Let's talk about that. It's not that they're not resonating with you. It's just you don't align with their energy.
Right.
And so you could be lower than them. They could be a higher vibration than you, right, or a lower vibration than you.
Right.
And so if they just don't resonate with me, they try to make it sound like it's somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
And so it's deflecting.
That's a trick.
It's a trick.
Yeah. A lot of people use that as a trick, even in the spiritual world.
As a cop
That
out.
doesn't resonate with me. Okay, well, why?
Yeah,
why doesn't it? Because, as I said in the other podcast, life has no meaning until you give it meaning.
That's correct.
And so, if they're not resonating with you, why are they not? Are they showing you some aspect of yourself you don't want to see?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one there. Reflecting back to you what you are.
Yeah, for sure.
I hear about it, and sometimes I get caught up in that.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I get that person doesn't resonate with me, or it's a trap. It's a trap to keep yourself at that vibrational level where you don't believe in yourself, or you don't think that person can guide you into it. There's an old.
I mean, sometimes for me, even it's even simpler than that. If I've had a really energetically exhausting or humanly exhausting day, and someone comes across my path, I will say, "Ooh, I cannot deal with that person right now. They do not resonate with me because I'm blasted. I'm wasted. I don't have anything left."
I had a little bit of a rough, energetic day today. You actually did that to me once today.
I was like, "Oh, dude, dirty dopper. I can't."
I was having a little bit of a rough, energetic day. Normally, I'm pretty high frequency and running around a lot. And
yeah, but it happens.
Today was just one of those off days for me. So there was a lot of things not resonating with me today. But the difference is I recognize it
even
as my
down
own.
to lunch.
Even lunch, right? I know, right? It's crazy when you vibrate at that level how everything changes.
We had liver and onions today.
And onions today for lunch, and I hate blood filter.
And the secondary option wasn't something that he likes either.
I don't even remember what it was.
It was the chicken wings.
Oh yeah, chicken wings. I don't like chicken wings.
No.
I think they're greasy and
so
nasty.
he sat back all pouty and he said, "Okay, well, I just am not even going to eat lunch." I said, "Okay."
My energy was off today, I tell you. And that's what happens, really.
It does.
When
it
you're
happens
vibrating
to
at
all
that
of us.
level, you attract those people to you that are vibrating at that level that you don't like.
Yeah.
And you humanly are just beating your head against the wall. Because my containment device was full today.
Full of garbage.
Negativity, garbage, whatever you want to call it. Recyclables. Whatever that is, I don't care.
Recyclables.
Well, it is kind of recyclable. It's energy.
Is. Yeah.
And so it was full of the recyclables that I don't like. The part of it that I recognize today is my energy I recognize was off. My cup was full. I had enough of the containment device overrunning and flooding out to everybody, because that's what happens when your cup gets full. It just spreads.
When it gets full of the wrong stuff.
Of the wrong stuff, correct.
Of the negative stuff.
That's right. And that's where mine was today.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
It is okay.
I got home and I emptied my cup, and here we are doing a podcast. So we played around on our Duocaster.
You need a flush the toilet sound.
Yeah, I don't have one. I have this one. I need to flush the toilet sound.
You do.
When it comes to relationship, I'm going to start with the relationship with yourself. We talked about the self-worth.
Yeah.
And giving ourselves those permission slips to identify and drop beliefs and move forward with life. The steps of it that I use is I try to imagine myself in a different place, looking towards a positive energy or a positive thought or a positive action, a positive experience that can help me pick my cup up and dump it out and start putting good stuff back in it.
Yeah, right. Well, so for me, I try to remind myself, okay, am I treating myself the way I would want my best friend to treat me?
That's me.
And if I'm not being my own best friend, then why am I not? What is that relationship? I think that's the first step. Identifying what the relationship is and what it looks like, and giving actually that, giving yourself almost a whole nother personality of, okay, if I were my own best friend, how would I want to be treated? What is that relationship? And most times what people we've worked with find is that they're very critical of themselves. They are quick to put themselves down. They are quick to point out the flaws and the wrongs and just really be very critical of themselves. And so we'll have a conversation with them and say, if that was another human being sitting there doing that to you, how long would you be in that relationship? So I feel like that's the first thing, is to kind of look at how are you treating yourself?
Yes.
Are you treating yourself the way you would let your best friend or your spouse or any other human being treat you? Because if you're not, you need to set some boundaries for yourself.
Yeah, and you're talking about every aspect of yourself. You're talking about eating, exercising, friendship, socialization, work. How are you treating yourself? Are you treating yourself in the proper way?
Yeah.
And that's not taken as a negative vibration in any of those things.
Right. Not
like
just
you can eat the best food in the world, but if you don't think it's the best food in the world, it's not going to be the best food in the world.
Well, yeah. I mean, or even if you eat when you're in that wonky space, the food's not going to taste as good.
And give you heartburn.
Not digest as easy.
Yeah.
Or
come out the other side liquid.
Thanks for sharing. Somebody give him the prize, and we need the audience clapping laughter.
Because he's sharing Karen today.
Sharon Karen.
So, and you're right, when you look at the relationship to yourself about that you have with yourself.
Yeah.
Make it, identify it, and then move, and then come up with a vision of what you want in your head for it to look like.
Yeah.
And
that's where those affirmations, a lot of people will put down affirmations and say, you can't fake it till you make it. And when I say that, it feels like a lie. It probably is. Mm-hmm. Because you're probably not being a very good friend to yourself at first. But again, it's a pattern of habit.
Right.
And so those affirmations, that's how they come into play. That's where they come into play, is teaching yourself how to be in a better relationship with yourself. And so making those lists of things that are good attributes about you, making yourself identify them.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned this in another podcast, when you're beginning to build a better relationship with yourself, you may only be able to come up with one or maybe two things that you can find that truly you feel like are believable attributes about you that are positive. But if you take the negatives that are popping up and change them into a positive, now what you're doing is you're writing history the way you want it to be. And by practicing that, then you will become what you are teaching your mind, your brain to be. You will become that eventually, because it's a habit.
So like, for example, if you believe that I am terrible at math and you tell people, I'm not good at math, can you do this? Or I need a calculator, I'm not good at math. Change that around into, I am good at math.
I'm good at math. That's right.
And tell yourself that.
I am good at math.
And believe it.
Yeah. And what helps kind of solidify that in even more is look at yourself in the mirror, in the eye. Don't look at your lip. Don't look at your chin. Don't look down at your neck. Look at yourself in the eye and really talk to yourself and tell yourself these different affirmations.
Yeah.
Catch yourself making the statements of, I'm bad at math, or I suck at that, or I'm being sensitive.
I'm overly sensitive.
And change that into a positive statement and start practicing that as an affirmation of, I'm going to affirm to myself to have a better relationship with myself and be a better best friend to myself.
Right. And
I deserve it. I owe myself that.
Start with one thing.
Yeah.
This is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yeah.
And the better you get at it, you can do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 a day.
Yeah.
And you'll get to where turning the negatives into positive, with the example I give, it will change your life slowly.
Yeah.
And it can be fast if you do it fast, but you'll definitely start seeing things like, we were training a guy. We were training a couple at our regular employment. And he kept saying to me, I don't know if I can get this down. I don't know if I can do sales. And I would just keep telling him, if you keep believing that, you're going to make it true.
Yeah.
You keep believing that, you're going to make it true.
Yeah.
You will believe it because you say it.
Right. Because again, a belief is just a habit of thought. It's a habit of thought.
Yes.
And once you say it enough, once you have the habit of it enough, then it becomes a belief. You're training your brain, you're programming your computer system to have this belief about this that you've told yourself over and over and over again if you stop and think about it, if you go back and look at things.
You're totally right. You said it right. A belief is a program, or how do you put it? A program of thought?
A belief is just a habitual pattern of thought.
A habitual pattern of
it's
thought.
It's a habit.
I like the way you put
that.
It's a
thought habit.
I kept telling him, you keep saying that and you're going to believe it. And so he started turning it around. And now they've got promoted and they went on and he's doing a great job at sales.
Yeah.
He said today that I told him that if I believe it, if I keep saying it, I'm going to believe it. And so he just said, I kept saying, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yep.
And no matter what it is, just turn it around. And so that will help build that relationship with yourself.
At first, it's not going to feel right.
Right. It's going to feel odd. And you'll say, why do I need to do this?
And your monkey mind will come in more than likely. I don't want to program anybody's mind, but for me, when I catch myself doing it and I start training my belief to be different, at first my monkey mind says, no, you're not. And so then I'm like, yes, I am. No, you're not. Nuh-uh. Yes, I am. And we're doing this childish back and forth
this
arguing.
The childish banter.
With the monkey.
Yeah, it is. It's just
and I got to jerk that monkey up and beat the tar out of him.
So, with the relationship, if you start doing those steps within yourself, your relationship with yourself becomes better and more positive. Mm-hmm. You'll feel better healthily. You'll feel more healthy. You'll have more energy. You'll have a better social life. You'll start attracting those people to you that you want to be.
And when you're doing it, make sure you do it in the current tense.
Correct.
Don't say, I want to be better at math, because that keeps it in the future.
Right.
I am good at math now. Put it in a now statement.
It's okay to do that because nobody knows your affirmations but you.
Right.
And
put them where you see them every day. If you put them on a piece of paper and make yourself get up in the morning as part of your self-care ritual, read that list. Or if you need to put sticky notes on your mirror. Listen, when I first began, I had to write them on my mirror because every day I'd go in there and, getting ready for work, putting my makeup on, doing my hair. I'm sitting there staring at these things and subconsciously I'm reading them, even though I'm not reading them with my mouth out loud. I'm blow drying my hair and I'm, curling my hair or whatever. I'm looking at the mirror and I see that. I'm reading it, whether I'm physically reading it or not. And so you're constantly drilling that in when it's on your mirror, on a sticky note, whatever.
Yeah, I have a couple on my mirror.
Yeah.
I have the whole left side of my mirror is covered in sticky notes.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It really is.
Here's the thing is we all know that what you think about, you bring about.
Yeah.
And the energy you put out, you're going to get back. And so as your energy gets better, you probably along the way have been thinking to yourself, I just want some good friends. I want people like me. I want to be around those that think the way I do.
Yeah. So how would you change that into the now positive?
You change your energy and the energy brings it to you.
No, with the words.
Right.
I have good
friends. Yeah.
And then bring in some appreciation. That helps kind of speed it up.
Yeah.
I am so grateful now that I have great friends.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm so happy and grateful now that I have a beautiful body. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have a shit ton of money.
I guess you say I have a beautiful body. Would you hold it against me? Remember that old song?
Hold your ears alert.
I'll cut that out. Don't worry. It's my singing and it's terrible.
It's my singing and I sing beautifully now.
I don't really want to sing good.
Why?
I'm just playing. It was a joke.
Oh, okay.
As you develop and you get your affirmations and your positive energy changes, your energy that you put out into the universe will start attracting those people to you.
Yeah.
And we get it all the time. We'll just have random people walk in. There for a long time, we thought to ourselves, I'll never forget where this happened, actually. We were like, we don't really, are we alone in this world? Are we the only ones that think the way we think? And you said we were in Idaho.
Idaho, Idaho.
We were in Boise, Idaho. And you said, I guess if we keep thinking that, it's going to be true.
Yeah.
And that stuck in my head. You're right. We keep thinking that's going to be true. And so we just started doing us, just being us. And then next thing you know, like every day we meet somebody somewhere that thinks just like we do.
Right. And just we'll randomly start conversating and
yes, it's kind of
chatting, talking it up.
Just randomly walk into your office. You don't know who they are, but they think the way we do.
Yeah. Happened just yesterday at the doctor's office.
Oh yeah, it did. Yeah. At the checking out the receptionist.
Yeah.
That's you. That was a good interaction. And as you get those in, it changes your relationship with a lot of things. Like, for example, we're going to talk about belongings.
So right quick, another thing that you can do is you can ask the universe or your council, whatever you call it, your God, show me how I can make this true. Show me how to make this true. And then wait for the answer.
Okay.
Whatever the statement is.
Okay, so anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want more friends and you're saying to yourself, you know, I have more friends now, but it's not quite true because you don't get to witness it in your reality now, then you can say, okay, universe, show me how I can make this true. And then you'll have that inspirational thought. You'll get a phone call and somebody will say, hey, can you do this? Can you come meet me? My car's broke down. And then you meet up and then they're maybe like, okay, you know what? Let's stop by here. I've got to talk to a friend. Next thing you know, you're around a group of people and make good friends out of it. And I mean, you just never know what the universe is going to orchestrate for you.
And I think the biggest part of that is to open up your awareness too.
Yep.
You know, be aware of your surroundings and the people around you, because a lot of times when we get into that low negative vibration, it lowers us so much that we quit seeing the people around us that think the way we think.
Yeah.
Because I really think that's what happened to us when I got in that little trap.
Yeah.
I'd say me more than you probably.
And here's the good evidence of how that really is a true statement. Whenever, like, you want to buy a car and you decide, okay, I'm going to buy
this is a good example.
Yellow Jeep.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, what do you start seeing everywhere?
Yellow Jeeps.
Especially after you buy it.
Yeah, after you buy it is when you really see them.
Then when you've actually manifested it into your reality and lined with that frequency and brought it into your reality where you can touch it, taste it, smell it, then for sure you are seeing yellow Jeeps everywhere.
I didn't see a single yellow Jeep until we bought a yellow Jeep.
Yeah. And so,
I mean, we were looking at Jeeps.
Yeah.
And didn't see a yellow Jeep.
Nope.
We saw that one JK, but it was all banged up and it was old.
But it wasn't yellow.
But, well, I guess you're right. It wasn't yellow. What color was it?
It was kind of a tanny.
Yeah.
I guess it
tanny. Is that a color? I wonder where that's at in the crayon box. What color is your Jeep? Tanny?
I guess that's on the yellow spectrum.
So, I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry. I just needed to put that in there.
Oh, yeah, it's okay.
As an example.
So as you develop your energy and you've created a better environment, you attract friends, and now you've opened your awareness. You need to open your awareness up and become more aware of the things that are being brought to you in your surroundings. And the next part
Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Yeah, to simplify it.
And then, like I said a minute ago, the next part of this, I think we should push into is, let's talk about material things.
Hey guys, this is the end of part 1, relationships, under the How Big Is Yours title. Stay tuned for part 2 coming your way. Thanks. Like, subscribe. Love ya.